Hello and welcome back to Elden Ring. This is part 19 of the run where we prepare for the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. Now, in this run, we will go through every weapon, shield, armor set, talisman, spirit ash, physic tier, and cookbook that you will need no matter what build you're creating. Now, last time we went through the main of Altus Plateau, covering pretty much everything that's in the map here, though we didn't do Capital Outskirts or Met Gelmir, which we're going to be doing today. So starting from the Seathwater River set of grace, which we got last time, we can head out where we will find volcanic rock. This is a crafting item, and it is primarily found here, and it is all over the place. As you can see, there's plenty of them. Though, continuing on, you'll quickly find a sapling that holds a golden seed. And as you can see, there are these fire spurts that come out of the ground. They do damage, so stay clear of them. There, we can get a smithing stone 5. And here there's some items just sprinkled about. Nothing too special. And here there's a cave that requires a stone sword key to get into. And just like the items, there's nothing too special there. Though, if you have an itch to explore, why not? Just, it's not good enough to warrant doing here, I'll say. And continuing on, you can just keep following this shallow river, body of water, stream, whatever you want to call it, until you get to this side of grace. And this is Seathwater Terminus. Then heading up, you will see this fort, and that is the next destination. Though, quickly we will be heading northwest towards these jellyfish, where behind this tree, there's a stone sword key. And as you can see, there are enemies fighting. If you want to join in on that, you can. If not, they mostly stick to themselves. And you can head into Fort Lade, however you pronounce it, where there will be this enemy. And taking them out gives you Prelate's Inferno Crozier, which is a strength-based colossal weapon. And past them, you get Armor's Cookbook 7. And this gets you Giant's Flame Fire Pot, which is a different version of Fire Pot. Now, they all have different scalings, and so there's some that are good for strength, there's some that's good for faith, and that's why I'm picking pretty much all of them up, because they're for different builds. Though there, we can get Fire Scorpion Charm, which raises fire attack at the cost of lower damage negation. So, if your build has a lot of fire damage to it, like some incantation builds do, or some faith-based weapons do as well, then you may find that to be useful. Though having gotten that, we can then head south, maybe a little southwest, all the way over until we find this body of lava. And in this body of lava is a boss. It is a magma worm. Now, do be careful, as their first 2 to 3 attacks are pretty much always this running attack, which you just need to avoid. Though, once you bring them down, you are granted with 19,000 runes, a dragon heart, and a new draconic power available to purchase. Though that's not why we killed them. We killed them to get safe access to Alexander.
Ah, I hardly think I've been take it.
This is the jar. It is a headpiece.
I won't be. Perhaps there's an old above the lock.
You done? Anyways, it is a headpiece which, as you can see here, outside of strike, is pretty good defensively. Like, even better than the Great Helm.
Perhaps there's an old above the lock.
And from there, on top of getting the jar, that also continues Alexander's quest line, where we can then move forward towards these enemies. And here, there's another one of these grave sites that you can move through to get some extra pocket change. And then you can continue forward, where you'll see one of these statues. You should know by now that those statues hold smithing stones, though you do need a giant enemy to break them for you. And thankfully, that giant enemy isn't too far away, as a Giga Bear comes dropping down on top of your head. And they're normally very eager to run after you. This one, I don't know why they didn't come running after me. Like, never done this before. They've never been half this reluctant. So, don't know what that was about. Though, you get them down here, and you'll be rewarded with 3 smithing stone 6. And then you can continue on, and don't forget to grab those, as they do stack up. And there are a few more items sprinkled throughout here. Nothing too special though. So we can just continue making our way to the east, further up this mountain. Though off to the right here, there is a set of grace and the pulley crossbow. Now the pulley crossbow is a repeating crossbow. If you played the Dark Souls games, then you may know it as the Avalon. Though, here, doesn't quite have the unique aesthetic. But continuing on, you can make it to the Hermit Village, where off to the right here, you can get the Hierodus Glintstone Crown, you can get the Prattling Pate You're Beautiful, you can get a Starlight Shard, and then making your way to the other side of the village, you can get the Errant Sorcerer armor set, which the robe starts off as altered. You can head over to Bach to unalter it, and it is a very nice looking robe in my opinion. So, dexterity or intelligence builds, rejoice. And there, as you can see, there's a boss. If you want to fight them, you can. Though the reward isn't too good. The reward for talking to this NPC, however, Kamerazur, is quite good. And this is at Primeval Sorcerer Azure Set of Grace. And it is important to get that for Selen's quest. Though continuing on here, you can make a drop down and you can make it into that hero grave. And I haven't been talking about the hero graves much, though we'll get to that. For now, we can head to the Bridge of Iniquity side of Grace, which, despite also being part of Met Gelmir, is actually very far away. At least from where we started. So there's what I call Met Gelmir Lower and then Met Gelmir Upper. What we did was all of Lower. This is the start of Upper. And what you want to do is just head on through here, passing by all the enemies, until you get to this dog. And it's very good to just sit on this rock, because the dogs have a jumping animation to get up here, which means they can't attack. And as you can see there were a group of those dogs, and you want to take them out before heading on forward. And if you were on your horse, you would have been kicked off, because here you get invaded by Anastasia, the Tarnished Eater. And you may remember this as the NPC invader who went after us at the very beginning of Caelid. Though this time, instead of dropping a talisman, they drop a weapon, this being the Butchering Knife, which, despite the name, is actually a great axe. And it restores a bit of HP when you attack an enemy. So if you're creating a build similar to mine, you may want to go with this weapon, because it really does fit that mold of just having healing items or relying on healing that isn't the Flask of Crimson Tears. Though there is a weapon that's better at that in a slightly later section. For now, we can pick up Golden Vow, a very popular incantation, and then we can move on. Here, there's a stone sword key, and then the other half of the bridge is broken and too high up for us to get onto at this point. So, much better to just take a U-turn and head along the right side wall. And you should quickly find these two torches indicating a ladder, and climbing up this, you should find a set of grace slightly to your left. And the wildlife can disable the set of grace for some reason. Even though they're not really enemies, Anyways, here there's another tombstone section for some more pocket change, and a somber smithing stone 6. And you can sit down at the site of grace to get any level ups, or to just replenish your health, FP, and flasks before continuing on to the next section up towards that giant watchtower. And there are some Lanedale soldiers here. As I mentioned in the previous part, it's pretty good to kill these enemies since they have a chance to drop smithing stones just for free, which is quite good. And then heading over here, if you go off to the left, you'll find that hero grave that I pointed out at the end of the lower section. The one by Comet Azure. Or you can head over here and you can head up this watchtower. Where at the very top, you'll find the pulley bow. And this has a bit more range than the other bows. So, if you're looking to make a sniper build, might be worth trying to go for that. Though, continuing on, you can pass that glowing message from Patches, and you can head into this absolutely ruined area where you can find the Scavenger's Curved Sword. This is a strength dexterity based curved sword with bloodlust buildup, making it decently popular among some people. And as you can see there's a grafted scion. And you're free to fight them if you want, or you can pull a me and just quit the game. And sorry for the flashbang, but it will be worth it for what's about to happen. You see, you quit the game, you load back in, and now the grafted sign is back up here, though this time, gravity wins the fight. They don't drop anything, by the way, that's purely just to kill them. Then there you can head off to the right or to the left. I'm going to head off to the left here and up this ladder. Now, regarding the whole grafted scion thing there, don't worry about the specifics, just remember that gravity is very dangerous, and in the beginning, that's dangerous against you.
Ah, welcome, dear customer. Yes, well valued, please. I'm hungry.
But as you learn, you can make it dangerous against the enemies. Here, you can get a stone sword key or the cookbook for volcano pots, which are very similar to the other fire pots, but they do damage over time. And here you can get the Confessor set and the Guilty Hood. You can also purchase an infinite amount of great arrows, explosive bolts, ballista bolts, and explosive great bolts, which is pretty decent. And because of how decent that is, mixed with how difficult it is to get to that merchant, you may find it worth it to kill them to get their build bearing to give to the twin husks. Now, I personally have a rule against killing NPCs with some very special exceptions, though that is entirely on me. You don't have to follow that, and you may find it worth it to kill them. And off to the right there, there's another cave. Just like the other cave we pointed out. You can go there, there's some stuff there. Personally, I don't think it's worth it unless you're really invested in getting everything. For a casual playthrough, even for a somewhat more committed playthrough like this, not really worth it, in my opinion. Though, heading up the Spirit Spring, you can find the full-grown Falling Star Beast. And you can fight them. And upon their death, you can get 21,000 runes, a Somber Smithing Stone 6, 5 normal Smithing Stone 6, and the Falling Star Beast Jaw. This is a strength, dexterity, little bit intelligence, colossal weapon with a unique skill, which used to be extremely powerful, though I've heard that it got nerfed in one of the recent patches. Though you can also get a Starlight Shard here, and on the west side of this arena is this rock formation jutting out, which you can then use to get down over here. And as you continue heading down, you may notice a golden sapling, which as always holds a golden seed. And there's an invisible Ash of War, or scarab that drops an Ash of War. I'm telling you right now, it's not worth it. Don't even go for it. Instead, just head off to the right and make your way down. Where you'll find the map for Met Gelmir and a Site of Grace. And so you can sit here to get your health and FP and flasks up, and by now you should have enough golden seeds to get another upgrade. This one bringing you up to 13 total flasks. And then continuing down, as you can see there, there's a gigantic worm face. So you may want to kill them if you're worried about them chasing you down here to this boss. And while it is a minor Erdtree, it's not an Erdtree avatar. This one is an ulcerated tree spirit. And upon bringing them down, you can get 18,000 runes, a leaden hard tier, and the cerulean hidden tier. And these give you some more poise. Not that good, though giving you infinite FP for 10 seconds is very good. Especially for low FP builds that want to summon certain Spirit Ashes like Black Knife Tiche, where you just don't have enough FP to do that normally. Or on certain magic builds, especially the ones that like to use Terra Magica and Common Azure. Very good for those situations. Don't forget to grab those as they do stack up. And then you can continue down here. There aren't any significant items down here. So if you're just here for the items, not really worth it. But this is the other side of the bridge. The one where we got Golden Vow and the butchering knife. So, that's just to contextualize where we were. And then from there you can head back to the 9th Gelmir campsite. This is right before the full-grown Falling Star Beast fight, where we can once again jump up here and then once again make our way down. Though instead of going off to the right, we're instead going to be heading off to the left. And you can actually take this U-turn to make the run down a bit faster. And here, you'll find a building. And as you can tell by being kicked off your horse, this is a legacy dungeon. This one being the Volcano Manor. And here, straightforward, is a site of grace. And I already got this one, as you can tell, because if you helped Raya out getting her necklace back in Liurny of the Lakes, then she will give you an invitation here. And upon making it to Altus Plateau, you can find her, and she's willing to teleport you here. So, that's how you get here. Though I'm not going to be doing the Volcano Manor in this part. That is going to have its own video. Instead, because we got Azure, we can now head off to Waypoint Ruin Cellar in order to show that sorcery to Selen.
There you are. Shall we commence? What's this sauce? Ah, master is a stew. You make us, but we can speak more. If you recall, it was for it. The tooth. I want Glyn, no matter what. My apprentice. Teacher, but hear me out. I need your perhaps. Splendid. This please. You must have. I need your master loose and like my apprentice. With this Glyn. I need he's after his a place called thinking about it wouldn't be too.
After going through all of her dialogue and getting a key, you can head to Celia Hideaway, which is a cave in the Caelid Wilds. And here, you're going to need to make it to the end. So I'm going to do this run through once so you know what path to take. Making it into this room, it's good to stop before heading past that crystal, so that way you don't run into that attack. And running past these enemies, they do chase you, although killing them there makes this enemy walk to the side and not see you, which is pretty good for your health. Though from here, we can continue on, and we're pretty much at the end already. All that's left is this one final enemy, and then this blue thing. Which, if you came here before, you wouldn't be able to open that because you didn't have the Celian Seal Breaker. Though, you can talk to this NPC to get yourself Stars of Ruin. this is part of a 3-chain sorcery. The first one fires 3, the second one fires 6, this one fires 12. And it's decent. Not anything super special, but it does its job. And from there, if you beat the boss, you can teleport out and back to Selen.
My apprentice, I have a... The form, my body imprisoned. Can you make the... I have something. Who could have... You have my... I am... This is... This brings the bodies. If only...
And then for that, you get a Starlight Shard. And then you can head to the Fourth Church of America on the western side of the Weeping Peninsula. And from there, you can head out, and you can head southeast and then down to the right into these ruins. And you just want to look for the giant circle on the ground, which points to where the underground cellar is going to be. Then you can find Selen.
There is some... My star has someone... Myself.
So that was uncomfortable. Though it does get us Selen's primal glintstone.
This. Treat it what you hope.
Then from there, you want to reload the game, with the fastest and easiest method being to just quit out and reload in. And this will actually kill Selen and bring Jaren into the picture.
Well, I hardly... You didn't, well, just put it. He was known, obsessed, the most It is a woman, I suspect. I'm sure she's I'm sure she's a sickening thought.
And then from there, we can head up, 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 all the way to near the top of Liurnia of the Lakes, back to Ronnie's Rise. You may have thought we were done with this, but nope. Though, this actually is the last time we're heading back here. I promise. And from here we can head out and to the left towards that giant structure, which will land us right where we need to be to head down this cellar, which you may want to do on foot as Torrent is a bit clumsy. So here, you can put Selen's primal glintstone into this puppet to bring her back to life.
My apprentice, thank you. And it's true. Better still, finally to expel... My dear. Finally to expel... My apprentice, thanks.
And from here, you can then head over to the Raya Lucaria Grand Library. And you may be wondering how it's possible for people to figure all this nonsense out. And if you are wondering that, welcome to FromSoft. Things get very complicated very quickly when it comes to quests. So I don't know how to help you, other than pointing you in the right direction. Though here, you can either choose to assist Jaren to kill Selen, or you can choose to assist Selen in killing Jaren. What you want to do is up to you. I like to assist Selen, as it gives more rewards and better rewards.
Jeren, bringer of my death. You have my gratitude for freeing me from my shackles. I'm afraid your work is done. Join the school to reflect on your mistakes.
And man, we make for a great team. And also Square Off. Square Off is actually kind of busted, and not enough people talk about it. Though siding with Scyllin will get you the Eccentrics set from Jaren and Scyllin.
Ah, you've saved. You see that with the body, so that my apprentice. You have your own. But do think of your teeth. You will all rest assured. No, my apprentice. But
And it gets you Glintstone Chris, which is a dagger.
do you read that glins when you become lay bare next time?
Anyways, it is a dexterity intelligence dagger with a unique and decently powerful
If you
skill.
fail, you can always. Oh, don't fret.
And now you can purchase the Shard Spiral Sorcery. And then you can rest at the Site of Grace, where you can get Renala back and Sellen. And you can get the Witch's Glintstone Crown, which is a helmet that boosts intelligence and arcane by 3 points to the detriment of stamina. And don't worry, you can talk to Sellen and you can still purchase her sorceries. She's just been crumpled up. Though, with that being done, you can head back to Celia Hideaway, where you can make your way down to the Sorcerer, where you can get Lusat's set. And then from there, you can make your way all the way back to Gelmir, all the way back up to here, Primeval Sorcerer Azure. And just like Lusat, he'll be gone, and you can get his armor set as well. And I figured, since we have the time, we can go through the hero grave here. Because it does give decent rewards. And I haven't been talking about them much, but there are multiple of these hero graves. There's one here in the Limgrave at the very, very beginning, just before the first step, which is quite good. Then there's one here in Elta's Plateau. There's one here. There's one in the capital outskirts. And then there's one final one in the mountaintops of the Giants. And the one in Elta's Plateau specifically has a stronger version of the Dragon Crest Shield Talisman, the one that gives you increased physical damage negation, and it gives you the Crimson Seed Medallion, or Talisman, which gives you more health back from your red flask, both of which are quite good. And so I would suggest going through all of the hero graves if you have the time and the resources, because the rewards are very good. Though, as you can probably tell, they are they're definitely a step up in terms of challenge. And, I mean, this is a bit on the tame side. This is one of the easier ones, honestly. Especially here in this first half. Though here you can get a Grave Glowwort 7, which is for the normal Spirit Ashes, not the super special, powerful ones. And there's another 7, and plenty of these enemies. Again, guard counters are very powerful, and I would highly suggest using them. Though, if you're thorough, you get some more Grave 6s and some more Grave 7s. So, all around, just lots of Grave Glowworts. And here there's even a Ghost 7. So, lots of upgrade materials for your Spirit Ashes. And here, if you're doing a more casual run, and especially if you're a more casual player, probably not worth going through here, as this is more enemies than items, as you can see. And heading over here, whether this section is even worth it is entirely up to you. I'm gonna go through it. I'm gonna show you the risks and the rewards. So here, there's a Grave Glowwort 7. And up here, there's a Stone Sword Key. Though, it does come at a cost. You see? It stops there, and boom. That is guaranteed damage. Unless there's an illusory wall or a way to break that I don't know of. Which is possible. Though, I don't know. Now here, as you can see, Icon Shield, Blessed New Talisman, and with just 12 Faith, Bestial Vitality, all of that passive HP regeneration is really putting in work to try to get my health bar back up without me using any flasks. And here, we're definitely gonna need it, as there's a giant slope of lava here. So don't worry about the giant chariot, as it only goes down as far as you saw it. So once you make it into this all lava part, you don't have to worry about it anymore. So getting to the bottom and heading off to the left here, you can get the Ringed Finger. This is a unique hammer, strength and dexterity, with a very unique skill that is a bit comical. And then heading over here, through some more lava, there's another Grave 7, and then one final Grave 7 there, and then the boss door. Now there are a few more items, but personally I prefer to go do the boss first, since it's here, we're right next to it, and beating the boss also allows you to teleport out. And heading on in, as you can see, this is a Red Wolf of the Champion, so it's a glass cannon boss. lots of mobility and a decent bit of damage, along with some ranged magic. Though not much health. And just like that, they go down. 21,000 runes, the Bloodhound Knight Flow Spirit Ash, and a Death Root. And no lights? Lights. No lights? Lights. No lights? Alright, just saw that in the moment and thought it was a little funny. But anyways, we can head back up out of the boss door that we opened, where there is a chariot that comes down here and then heads back up every 10 seconds or so. So here it is. You can jump onto the top middle part here, and you can ride it to this point, or you can then jump off and fight this enemy. Where there's another grave 7, so I lied about that, I'm sorry. Though more importantly, is it the Mantis Blade. This is a strength dexterity based curved sword with a unique heavy attack, which extends the range. And then, even more importantly than that, here there's a Bloodhound Knight, and killing them, you get the Bloodhound Knight set and the Gelmir Knight set. And then from there, here's a ladder that you can climb up to get to a higher position. From here, there are these 2 small windows that you can jump out onto these rafters from, where you can then land back onto this. And you can take this back down if you wish. And that's about it. That's pretty much everything noteworthy in Met Gelmir. We got the Glintstone Chris finishing up Selen's quest. We got the Scavenger's Curved Sword, the Mantis Blade, Butchering Knife, Ringed Finger, Prelate's Inferno Crozier, Falling Star Beast Jaw, the Pulley Bow, the Pulley Crossbow. We got Guilty Hood, the Jar, Witch's Glintstone Crown, the Errant Sorcerer set, Azure set, Lucette set, Confessor set, Eccentric set, Gelmir Knight set, Bloodhound Knight set. And here, as I said, Crimson Seed Talisman is found in the other hero grave in Altus Plateau, this one. And in Gelmir, we got the Fire Scorpion Charm, along with a new Spirit Ash in Bloodhound Knight Flow, which is decent. We also got some more of these in Leaden Hard tier and the Cerulean Hidden tier. And we got a few new cookbooks. And once again, this run, we will go through every weapon, shield, armor set, talisman, spirit ash, physic tier, and cookbook that you will need no matter what build you're creating in order to prepare for the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. I hope you continue to follow me through on this run. And with that being said, yeah,